Welcome to Pioneer Playbook. We have a special guest here. We are glad to see you, not just on a Saturday, but I'm here with Coach Thaxton. How are you doing? How are you feeling?
Doing pretty good. Excited, had a pretty big weekend, so just really just glad to be here.
Yeah, we're glad to have you. Tell us, as we all know, we released it on Saturday. You played for the state championship. We only lost by 4. Tell me about that. Tell me about the thoughts going through your head with that. Like, now that you've had some time to reflect, tell me all about it.
Yeah, kind of bittersweet, to be honest with you. We kind of go back, as a coach usually does, kind of reflecting upon what could we have done or what could have been. But to be honest with you, I really am kind of just really proud of our boys. They really played well, really played hard. After the game, we talked to them. Of course, they was pretty bummed, but just told them that I was really proud of them. I told them the emotion would have probably been different if we would have won. I would have been excited, even more excited, but. To be honest with you, I don't know if I could have been even more proud of how they played and how they really did. They responded and just really proud of the boys.
Yeah. Now, walk me through the process of this season, starting out from tryouts to now. Tell me, how has that process been? How have you seen them grow?
It's been a group of kids that's been together quite a bit over from last year to this year. Yeah. Last year we were obviously played in the county league, and the first time we played, every game we lost.
Oh wow.
So it's been a pretty big turnaround.
Yeah.
But they just kept getting better. They're gym rats. They want to be in the gym every day. They put in a lot of hours in. We practice pretty much every day of the week throughout the season. And so we kind of had some goals. We had 3 goals at the beginning of the year. One, we wanted to win every game of the season, which we knocked that goal off.
Check.
Then we wanted to win our district tournament, which we did. And then our last goal was to win the countywide game. And then this other tournament was just kind of an icing on the cake. I found out about it. Mr. Rex Crabtree, our district AD, kind of said, hey, you got a good team. You might want to go take the boys down there, give them this opportunity. And we did. And I'm glad we did. Yeah, good opportunity.
Yeah, so you also have told me that you have 5 to 6 players that are stepping up and playing with the 7th and 8th graders. That just shows a lot with their talent-wise and how they are gym rats. Tell me more about that and what you thought them stepping up to the plate.
Yeah, their role's not as big, obviously. Yeah. There's a big difference between 6th graders and 8th graders, obviously, maturing-wise. But just being in the game, being on the bench, watching how the games go, and knowing, seeing situations. That's one of the things that we talked about this throughout the district tournament. There's going to be a lot of games. Our strategy a lot of times was to play a slower pace ball game. In 5th and 6th grade basketball, a lot of times everybody presses a lot, tries to get easy baskets. That was not our approach. We played the half court. They set it up. We worked it into, our post and very, very methodical. They very, we had a game plan in most every game, and they did a really good job of executing that. But just them playing up, I feel like just the experience, the competitiveness, they're competitors, man.
Yeah.
They love to compete, and that's one thing you can't teach.
Yeah.
And they just have it, and that's fun.
Yeah. So now tell me, going on, what's happening with your 7th and 8th graders? I know you have 8th grade night tonight. Tell me how you're feeling with those guys just leaving.
It's kind of a bittersweet thing as well. We have eight 8th graders that'll be leaving, so only 2 7th graders. So next year we'll be young. Going back to those young guys, I'll say this. I told them after the game that our goal from this, here on out, is to end our year every year at that tournament, seeing where we kind of stand. And so that's kind of where we are. But those 8th graders, I haven't had them the complete time.
Yeah.
A lot of the ones that are in the 5th and 6th grade, I've coached them in baseball. I've known those kids ever since they were just really little. So getting to continually coach them, and I know their families. It's really close bunch of boys that love each other. And but going back to 8th grade night, it is going to be a special night at Centertown. So we're looking forward to making that as special as we possibly can for them, just because you as a Centertown Warrior, you know how it is to go out on the floor for the last time, and just trying to make it very special for those guys.
Yeah. Going off of that, looking forward to with these 8th graders, you think your 6th graders and you think your 5th and 6th graders look up to these guys, and what do you think goes through their mind when they see these old dogs, the top dogs, I'd like to say.
Yeah, I think they do. A lot of them look up to them. But I will say this: I think there's a mutual respect between a lot of the old guys and my sixth grade boys.
Wow.
They compete and they push them and they make them better. I mean, there's been times where my younger guys we've cross practiced it with the older guys, and so I would have my starting five in for my fifth and sixth grade team playing against my starting five or seventh and eighth grade, and man, it's a battle. I mean, They really push them, and I think there's a respect level there, which is really cool.
I love to hear that. So going off of strategy, what's your favorite thing? Do you like offense or defense better?
We're a defensive team.
Okay.
We built everything we've done this year is we build upon defense.
Your defense turns into offense.
Our defense turns into offense. But we just, really good teams play really good defense. That's my philosophy. And I think that, we have a couple pieces that makes that with Denning being down low, it's really hard to stop, and we a couple of good guards that really make it hard to stop. But defensively, we've played a 1-3-1, we've played a 2-3, we've played a 3-2, we've played a little bit of man. I know introducing them to a lot of those defensive things have been a big deal. But yeah, I'm definitely a defensive guy. I feel like that's what wins the championships. And to be honest with you, looking back at the state tournament, if our defense wouldn't have been as dynamic and elite, we would have had a lot harder time in probably staying in that last ball game without one of our bigger scorers being up there. Yeah, I
love to hear that y'all get a lot of steals. Kind of what's that? Just play up tempo, or is it more of a strategy?
It depends on who you're playing.
Yeah.
But a lot of times we do try to push the ball up the floor, just because if you get easy baskets in fifth and sixth grade basketball, that's a pretty big deal. But so we try to play. We want to push the ball. We start every practice at the very beginning running for 8 minutes straight, and that's been from the beginning. They know when we come in the gym every day, we go through stretches, we do our routine, and then we go into just sprints for 8 minutes straight. And a lot of that is because we want to be the best conditioned team on the floor, and because that always plays a factor. And so, that's one of the things that we've worked on. But we try to play a little bit of tempo, try to push the pace a little bit. But there's times where we want to slow it down and get in a half court game and just grind it out too.
Yeah. Looking forward to next season, what are you looking forward most to with these guys?
Just building off what we've already established. I know, like I said, last year we were young. We had most of them were fifth graders last year. So we have a really mature team. I think we had 11 sixth graders, 5 fifth graders, and 1 fourth grader. So moving them up to seventh, eighth grade, of course, there'll be a year that we're younger.
Yeah.
But just looking to build off of what we've already established. I feel like they've learned a lot, especially defensive wise. I would like to improve our man-to-man defense just to prepare them for the future, high school basketball and things like that. Try to give them as many tools as we possibly can. Yeah,
looking forward to the future, and with these eighth graders, and then looking back and towards the future, what are you preparing them to move to Warren County High School?
Well, I mean, just there's a lot of things that you learn in sports.
Yes.
Hard work, competing, discipline. That's one of the things that we do. We talk about discipline in defense, discipline in making sure you're there on time and things like that. So just being a better person. I know Coach Fish talks about a lot of things that are outside of basketball.
Yeah.
And that's not there's a lot of truth to that. Basketball is a fun game. You get to compete, but there's a lot of lessons to be learned in that. So I just want them to be better people, better men, young men, and grow up and support and each other. I know he talks about the brotherhood and loving each other, and I feel like that's kind of similar to what we have going on over at Centertown as well.
Yeah. Do a lot of them players, do they play for Warren County Elite? Do they take their skills outside of Centertown?
Yeah, some of them do. I mentioned this earlier before we come on. A lot of our kids do play different sports, multi-sports, and so some of them are going into baseball this next week. I probably have 5 or 6 going into baseball this next week. So, they do play, and I push them to play whatever, it makes them better.
Better athletes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now tell me about your coaching staff along with these players. How are you guys like a family, and what does that mean to you?
Well, our staff's pretty small. It's just me and another guy, me and Josh Gillespie. He's really good. He's a very strategic mind. I love talking to him about, what we're seeing as we watch people play and how we're going to attack things. And so he's very, very great. And as far as our team, like I said, they've known each other. Most of these kids have known each other since they were just really little. And so they've grown up to school together. They've been in the same class for years. And just to be honest with you, they're just really good friends.
Yeah.
And that carries over onto the basketball floor. Are there times where they fight like brothers?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's part of being close knit and going to battle. And like I said, we have one fourth grader on our team. His mom was telling me the other day that she's kind of worried about how he would fit in. But man, the older guys really just took him in, and they would fight for him. I'm telling you, they would fight for him. So it's just really cool.
See that. Anything you want to say about your fans, about Warren County? How have they supported you, and what are you most proud of within this community and how your guys have played for them?
Yeah, I would like to say thanks to all of our fans, though, especially those that travel down to Murfreesboro to watch us play. That's it's not just like getting up and going across town, but man, they showed up, and our Centertown fans show up regardless. Elementary basketball fans are crazy fans, and it's fun to watch because to see them show up night in, night out. I don't anticipate anything less than just a packed gym tonight at Centertown tonight for our 8th grade night. So I love elementary basketball fans. They're the craziest fans in the county.
Yes.
It is what it is. I mean, you've heard a lot of people talk about that, but for our fans, I just wanted to say thank you for showing up and supporting our boys and loving them and congratulating them. We've had a lot of people pat them on the back and tell them how good they've done this week, and I appreciate that. And
then looking forward with the 7th and 8th grade, because that's the season we got to close. How many more games do y'all have left?
We have 2 games. We have a game tonight and a game again tomorrow night. The game from tomorrow night, or for tomorrow night, had to be rescheduled due to us playing in Murfreesboro. So that'll be the last season game, and then we start our tournament I think next Monday.
Is the tournament still held at the high school?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll still be.
What are you looking forward to with that?
Just looking forward to competing. I will say the 7th and 8th grade division is very, very competitive this year. It's very, very close, which is not always the case. But it's fun because it makes everybody better. It makes the kids better. They have to compete it night in, night out. So I look forward to just seeing the guys get out there and putting their best foot forward and seeing what happens.
I feel like our rivalries were always Morrison and Dibbrell. Is that the same going on right now?
Yeah, right now we've had a couple of different. I will say this: as a coach for Centertown Elementary, I've only lost one basketball game in the last year, and that was the Dibbrell Elementary in a day game. Just a crazy atmosphere. They had a lot of people there. C.J. Taylor had come back, and he was in the stand and signing people's stuff. It was a fun day, but it was tough. Those day games are hard games, and so we just had a rough game that game. Didn't score well, and they just got us. And so that's always a big battle. And Morrison too. I mean, to be honest with you, from top to bottom, this league this year is pretty close.
Good.
Anybody can win it, to be honest with you.
That's what we like to hear. We don't like to hear someone's above the rest. Like, we want it to go in and be all, because at the end of the day, they're all going to end up going to the same high school.
Absolutely.
Tell me, can you go to the state tournament with these 7th and 8th grade boys? Tell me, can you go any further, or are you just looking to do it within the county?
Well, the state tournament for them would have been the same time.
Okay.
And so I didn't know exactly where we stood, and I knew that the league was kind of close.
Yeah.
I do know that the Dibbrell Elementary, though, the 7th and 8th grade teams, they took 7th and 8th grade teams to the state tournament and competed. And then our Centertown Elementary girls actually went and competed, won a game, got beat, I think, in the semifinals or something of that nature. But they went and competed as well. So it's kind of exciting seeing teams from Warren County go and compete at that level. That's what we. I will say this: a lot of people sometimes criticize the county basketball because they don't play as good a competition. And I understand that. You can only play what you have the opportunity to play. But to other coaches, I would just encourage them to take those kids out.
Yeah.
Get an out-of-county game, give them opportunities to play against good competition because they may surprise you.
Yeah, and I feel like it lets you see on an even playing field where you are compared to other, not just in your district, because everybody plays on a different day.
And to be honest with you, that's kind of the reason that we went this year to the state tournament is we wanted to see just where we were and evaluate where we were, and we were. Just be honest, we're a little farther along than I thought we would be.
Hey, we got to see that.
Yeah, so that was fun. It's fun to see. But like I said, that's a goal of ours every year from here on out is just to kind of go to that tournament and just see where we are.
And that's what Coach Fish, we were talking about not on the show Saturday, but he was like, they need to get that exposure. We need to see where they are because when they come to high school, you are playing those out of counties. So I love how we're starting that young. Anything else you want to add or say about your boys or anything? No,
I mean, like I said, I know they were heartbroken a little bit Saturday. And I told them, I'll tell you, I'm big on. I didn't say this in the interview, but we had a lot of sickness throughout the time, and we were we were very unfortunate to not have all of our guys. Several that contributed quite a bit.
Yeah.
One in particular that was probably one of the scoring leaders in the county that did get to play in that championship game, but. I told them it's the next man up mentality and just play hard. And I just want to say, I told them they did a great job, but we're still second place. We did not win that tournament, and I just want to reiterate that with them because, our goal is before they leave Centertown Elementary and go to the high school is for them to win that tournament. Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for coming on this special edition. It's been great taking some time out of your Monday to join us. We want to see the success of Centertown and of this county. Best of luck tonight and the rest of the season. I think we got to break it down.
All right.
We got to say Warriors on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3, Warriors. Thanks for coming on. Thank you, Warren County.